My name's John. I work as a senior cybersecurity automation engineer for Electronic Arts, which is a game development company. So I've been doing that for the last 3 years. And my role basically is I work in the secure coding and anti-cheat team. I basically help developers write code to stop people from hacking and cheating in computer games. It can be different every day. So like my work day usually starts at around sort of 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I work for an American company, so a lot of my colleagues are in different time zones. Usually I've got to find out what happened last night and what my team have been working on. And then I kind of go into sort of a priority list and try and understand like, what do I need to do today? Like what's important, what isn't important, who's like blocked by me, or like who do I need to get information from? And then once I've kind of got my priority list for the day, then what I generally do is find that in the mornings I'm more productive than the afternoons for like complicated architecture work or designing and building stuff. So I do all the creative and like techie stuff in the mornings and then try and structure it so that I get the afternoon to like have meetings and chat to people. And yeah, it took a while to realize that was what worked well for me. Remote working, I just find it's quite lonely, especially if you're at home. Sometimes it affected my motivation, and I miss talking to people in person. Like, I think that's really important. What I found with Block is everyone's super friendly. We've got this great gym facility, which I make use of every day. So I do yoga classes or fitness classes like every day of the week. And I find that that also just completely like levels up my motivation and like focus at work. And like I've made friends with a lot of the gym staff, and I've got friends here that I go to the gym with as well. So that side of it's really nice. And yeah, just like getting to know the people that I sit next to, and like everybody's doing something different as well. So I went to Denmark and spent a couple of weeks over there kind of exploring what conscious communities are like, and generally what it's like for people to live in more like a co-housing type situation. Because I'm kind of interested in that quite a lot. Just I'm realizing like as I'm getting older as well that people are not living together so much anymore. We live more isolated, and I just don't think that's very healthy. So I'm like really interested to know like how do other people live in like different countries. And you hear about these blue zone places where people are like living to in their hundreds plus, and like one of the big things with that is community. You can probably achieve far more than you think. It is a big topic, and like I think for me as well, like I came out of school with like no qualifications. I had like a couple of D's in A levels, got a job, didn't have a degree, didn't know what I wanted, and then just worked bloody hard basically. I didn't believe I could do very well at all, and then next thing you know, like I'm like a global head of like one of the biggest companies in the world, coming out of school with nothing. And I think that was just, it's hard work on my part. It was no like help from anyone else, but it was just showed me just like, yeah, anything's possible if you believe you can do it. I nearly got expelled from school for hacking. I was told that I would never be able to touch a computer, but then I ended up becoming like a hacker for a living, and like I now write secure software. It was almost just like just to really show like the teachers and the IT manager at school, just like, well, that you just didn't really recognize my potential there. And I think like it's just important to just like not take other people's views on what you can and can't do like seriously, because it's like if you really believe in something, you can just do it, and I wouldn't care what other people think about it. Never think that your thoughts or views matter less than someone else's, because they probably do matter a lot. And I think sometimes it's really easy just to get caught up with like self-doubt, especially if you're like in a meeting and there's other people chatting and they sound really confident. But I would never let that get in between like you and like feeling stuck with voicing what you think is right or wrong. If you want to be promoted or you want to like achieve well in a workplace, you really need to be seen. And I think like people won't notice when you do a good job if nobody shouts about it. So like you need to celebrate your success, and if you do a good job, like let people know that you do. AI, for example, is massively changing the software world. In the last year, my job has completely changed because of AI. You have to use AI now as a software developer, and it's like if you don't use it, then you will fall behind. The quality of work that is expected from engineers and the velocity of work that's being expected to be delivered by us has just like I would say doubled. It's like having a junior developer sat next to you, ready to help out with stuff on hand all the time. It can't do everything, but a lot of the like repetitive tasks, it can just do instantly for you. AI can now generate like text on demand based on like human input. Things like non-player characters in computer games now can be largely driven by AI. So they're now having to put a lot less time into how to like create those non-player characters and how they can respond to a player. Like the experience is enriched for the player as well because of that. When we're creating new like 3D models of new characters or like scenes, we can use AI to like create huge parts of that as well and help artists make like more content quicker. Speech generation as well, so you can train an AI model on like the speech for like a popular game character, and then you don't have to re-employ the vocal actor when they want to add more speech content because they've already got it trained on his voice and his voice mannerisms. Like cybersecurity is another huge area, like secure coding. Now with AI integrated into like people's development like tool sets, as you're writing code, AI can be analyzing the code you're writing and then giving you instant feedback as to whether or not you're introducing vulnerabilities into the code you're writing. It has completely changed my industry. For me, it's really understanding like what is the most valuable thing that I can do each day. Like what task is going to have a real impact, and make sure that my day is built around doing those important tasks. If I do that, then I know I'm having an impact, and for me that just feels like really important. I find if I have a day where I'm doing stuff and I don't really know why I'm doing it, or if I'm doing it and it's like not really adding a lot of value, I find I get really demotivated very quickly. So having a job which doesn't take up my entire life, like I want to be able to do my job, enjoy it, but when I get to the end of the day, like I put it down and I can do the other things that I enjoy in my life as well. Being able to have like time boxed time when I'm doing work and not doing work means that when I come to work, I'm really motivated and focused. Massive. Yeah, like undoubtedly massive. And not just in general co-working, but I'd say specifically here, because I did try a few other co-working places before I started working here. And I think like what I found was a lot of them, I felt like I was working from home, but just in another place. And what I've really appreciated about here is there is just like a sense of community. I feel like I'm part of it. People welcome me. Like people ask me how I am and they generally mean it. I'm excited to come to work and to talk to my work friends. I like the fact that we can go and do exercise classes together. The difference that's had on my mental health is just like undescribable. Just like having those routines, like my body just feels amazing. Like I'm sleeping better. I naturally want to eat better as well because I'm doing more exercise. Like every part of my life has improved.